Good Monday morning to you. You know, insurance companies have access to top attorneys when determining how to settle a claim. Now, if you feel your insurer just isn't playing fair, it may be time to seek some legal advice of your own. Has your insurer encouraged you to sign a quick settlement for your accident claim? And has your insurance company canceled your policy or raised premiums after you got sick? Has your legitimate claim been delayed or denied? Well, if you're tired of fighting the insurance companies, we want you to give us a call. We're going to take your questions live at 803-442-4551. We just ask you to turn your television set down. Try to use a landline if you can. We're going to get to those questions and our guest in a moment. First, here's what's coming up on the dockets. Well, just after Valentine's, we're going to do Love and the Law, looking at marriage and divorce. On February the 26th, traffic accidents, and then on March the 4th, elder law and estate planning. Well, filling in tonight for Vic Hawk from the Vic Hawk Law Firm is Reed Sanders. How are you, sir?
Doing great. Doing great. How about yourself?
Oh, excellent, excellent. Well, of course, you know, any type of medical claims that we have, whether it be a car accident, a slip and fall, or if we've been hospitalized, chances are we're going to deal with insurance companies, right?
All the time. So, you know, that's why we are here tonight, and that's why we brought on Bill Sussman. Bill Sussman is a great trial attorney. He practices in Georgia and South Carolina. He does criminal defense, workers' comp, and personal injury. Bill, thanks for coming on tonight. It's great to have you on.
Well, I'm glad to be here.
Bill,
I'm glad my check cleared too. So that,
that's right. Since we're talking about the insurance companies, what are some of the things that insurance adjusters do that can limit your claim?
well, it depends. Sometimes you'll hear from an insurance company right away. They'll try to go ahead and talk you into a quick settlement. They'll send you a check for, say, $500 to get you to sign a release, and then you might end up being a lot worse hurt than you thought initially, which happens quite a bit. But by then, once you've signed the paperwork, you're done. So it's always better, especially with any kind of significant injury, perhaps not to necessarily make any kind of quick settlement with the insurance company until you've had a chance to evaluate your injury.
Okay, that sounds right. And another thing, like you were talking about with those quick settlements, you know, a lot of people don't know that the insurance companies will try to jump on you fast, and then you kind of, you know, you don't understand that that's your entire claim if you sign off right away. So I think that's a big deal is when the insurance company initially calls you and talks to you about it before you sign any settlement. You know, have an attorney look at it.
Well, you know, most people are very concerned about their cars. I've had clients call me. They're in the hospital, they have a broken leg, they're severely burned, but they're worried about their cars. And so a lot of times people are short-sighted. They'll settle right away just to get their car fixed, and then lo and behold, they're settled with medical bills later and there's no recourse.
That's an excellent point. Isn't there really two sides of the claim then in a situation like that? It's like the car and then the medical. Can you do them separate, or do you need to do them together?
Well, they're separate claims, really. There's a property damage claim for any injury to your car, and then you have your personal injury claim, which involves you and your spouse, who has a claim for loss of consortium, so that maybe because of your injury, you're crankier than you usually are, or in Neil's case, it may not really matter, but you know, the spouse would have a claim as well. So there's a lot of different aspects to a personal injury claim that people aren't aware of, but the insurance adjusters are, and they'll get you to settle quick so that all those other aspects are extinguished.
Mr. Sussman, your animation has yielded our first call of the evening. Elizabeth from Aiken joining us. Good morning to you, Elizabeth. How are you?
Good morning.
Well, how long have you been out of work there in Aiken?
Since September.
Okay, now you're on short-term disability, and what have you been advised in relation to that?
My short term ended because I only got short term for 90 days.
Okay.
I went into long term, and it is being denied because they told me that my short term, they had figured it the wrong rate, and I owed them $692.38 that I have to pay back before they can start paying the long term. But they won't give me any explanation as to why.
Bill?
Well, So I assume then that you have you have short-term and long-term disability, right? Hello?
Yes.
Okay. And the way it works with your policy, as it does in most of these types of policies, is they wait and see if you satisfy the short-term period of time, and then if your doctor says that you're disabled in excess of that short-term period, then the long-term kicks in. Usually it's after 90 days, right? Hello?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, well, if they have figured that wrong, they're the ones that drew the policy. They're the ones that are responsible for calculating the appropriate periods of time. And so to require you to pay them back for the short-term overage so that they can kick in the long-term is frankly absurd. I think what you should do is call a lawyer, get the lawyer to send them a letter telling them they're acting in bad faith, and I would imagine they would go ahead and kick in the long-term and waive that overage, which is their fault.
Right.
Who pays for short-term and long-term disability? Is it an employer or employee?
Well, it varies. I mean, it can be an employee contribution, it's much the same as any kind of medical insurance.
Right.
Usually it's optional. You know, you can opt to have it, and they take it out of your premium. Sometimes employers offer it 100%. It just depends on the plan. But in South Carolina, just as in Georgia, you know, if the insurance company acts in bad faith, they're entitled to a certain period of time to investigate and evaluate and see what the right thing is to do. And if they don't do it,
Yep.
then they're liable for attorney's fees and penalties.
Yeah, and you know, dealing with them before that, when that happens, when you send that letter of bad faith, you know, they usually move on some things. At least that's been my experience.
Well, they have to, because you set time limits in motion for them.
Right, right.
Well, definite benefits to hiring an attorney for sure to help fight the insurance companies. Well, we're going to take our first break, but we want to invite you to call. The phone lines are open. The number is 803-442-4551. If you've been in a car accident, have a medical claim, a slip and fall, a disability question, we want to take your questions on the other side of the break. You're watching News 12 Law Call.
Now.
Welcome back, and in for Vic Hawk tonight is an associate from his office, Reed Sanders, and we've kept Bill Sussman up past his bedtime. He's been good, though, to be in on the program. How are you, sir?
I'm still here.
Good?
Yeah, that little extra coffee you gave me is starting to kick in.
Excellent. So. Let's see if we can help Shirley. She's been waiting patiently on the line from Augusta. Shirley, you have a situation related to your car. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
What happened?
Someone stole someone's car out of my yard, so he didn't have a way to get to work. So he said he was going to pay me $25 per day, and insurance would pay me. And plus, he wrecked my car, and the insurance haven't paid me because he wouldn't pay me while they could pay him.
Well,
And so I'm trying to find out what to do because he done bought him a brand new truck.
Well,
and my car is wrecked.
Stone, you said originally that he stole the car from you?
Someone stole his truck
Okay. And
out of my yard.
I got you.
So he didn't have a way to get to work.
Right. So you loaned him your car. Is that right?
Insurance to pay him, but the insurance saying that he's supposed to pay me.
Mm-hmm.
So he haven't paid me. He went and bought him a new truck. Plus he wrecked my car.
Right.
And he said he gonna come rub it off. But
well, did you loan him your car?
yes, because he didn't have a way to work,
Sure,
and he turned it into the insurance,
Right.
saying that I would let him drive my car to work.
Well, if you had to get the car from him or the payments from him, then you're going to have to probably have a claim against him, and there wouldn't be insurance for that. You know, it would be strictly versus him, and even if you got a judgment, you would have to get it out of him. You may be able to put a lien against something that he owns, like a house or a car or something like that. But yeah, that's going to be real tough to do. Bill, is there any other way you see any kind of recovery for her? You know, if he's not a licensed user on the insurance, do you know of anything else that she could do?
Well, it was your car with your insurance?
No, his insurance.
Okay, so his insurance covered him driving your car.
Yes, sir. But I haven't received my money, and he done bought me a new truck.
Did you, just a quick question, is it someone that you knew that you kind of had a handshake agreement with, or did you sign a little sort of an agreement with him?
No, sir, I didn't sign no agreement. I was going by what he was saying.
Well, if he drove your car
Wrecked it.
and he had insurance, then his insurance should pay you for the damage to your car.
Right.
Have you made any claim against his insurance company?
Yeah, I talked to her, but she said that's my fault.
That's your fault that he wrecked your car?
Mm-hmm.
See,
So-
that's why we're in business. That's
I knew so,
exactly
so-
why. You need to call a lawyer and have the lawyer make a claim against that insurance company. Sue him. You can't sue an insurance company, but you can sue him, the guy that wrecked your car, and then his insurance will come in, step in, and pay you.
And the money that he received, it very well could be a personal injury claim. You know, if he wasn't at fault in the accident, then he may have received some kind of compensation for the personal injury, but that still wouldn't pay off the property damage that would be to you. So you certainly have a claim if he has valid insurance.
Well, thank you, Shirley. Thank you for that question. Hopefully we've given you a bit of advice. Darlene is on the line from Aiken. Darlene, can you hear us?
Yes.
Tell us a little bit. I guess you got hurt on the job. Is that right?
Yes, sir. I used to work for a sheriff department in Georgia, and I was attacked by a male deputy on that job. And I want to know, what is the statute of limitations for filing a claim?
In Georgia,
Yes.
for workers' comp.
Yes.
Well,
And, well, I guess to sue him personally, too, for
What-
bodily injury.
Well, you've got 1 year to file a workers' comp claim in Georgia. You've got 2 years to file a personal injury claim against him in Georgia.
Okay, yeah, and see, I was traumatized. This male deputy attacked 2 other deputies beside me before he finally was forced to resign. And I put him for my long-term disability under SSI, and I have a collapse of my spine in my L4, L5.
Good
Well, it
gracious.
sounds like you've got severe injuries, but let me also tell you this. If you're going to make a claim, you might have a claim against the sheriff's department, too, depending on whether or not they would have knowledge of the propensities of this deputy. And if that's the case, you have to file what's known as an ante litem notice, or an ante litem notice, depending on which part of the country you're from. And that ante litem notice is required to be filed, I believe, within 1 year of the claim, because Richmond County is a consolidated government, so it's a county, city, municipal consolidation. So you have to file your notice of your verified claim, which means you have to let the clerk's office in the county know about your claim, your possible claim against the county. Has it been a year since this happened?
What happened was I
Is that a
wrote
yes?
the sheriff. I wrote the sheriff a personal letter, and
Okay.
they covered up for the man. And I had asked that he be arrested
Okay, has it
after
been
he
a
attacked
year?
me.
Has it been
Sir?
a year since this?
Yes, sir, it has. That's why I was curious what the limitation
But you
was.
wrote a letter to the sheriff letting him know about what happened?
Yes, sir. I asked for him to be arrested.
That might
and
actually qualify as an ante litem notice. Have you not consulted with an attorney yet?
Sir?
Have you talked to a lawyer about this?
No, that's why I'm asking you what I can do.
Yeah.
You know.
You might be able. Your claim against the department might still be open, and you're certain your claim against the is still open if it's within the 2-year statute.
What happened, the sheriff ignored my letter like he didn't get it, and all they gave this man after they found him guilty of brutally attacking me in the jail, all they gave him was 2-day suspension.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I was the second deputy attacked, and he attacked a third one after me.
Have you contacted the district attorney's office about possibly taking out a criminal warrant?
Really, I thought I was doing what I should do when I contacted the sheriff. and then he didn't even return a call or any kind of letter. I sent certified letter to him.
Well, you might also try contacting the district attorney over in Augusta too, but I think if you send him a certified letter notifying him of the claim, your claim against the department may still be open along with the individual claim, but I think you have enough there. You should contact an attorney in Georgia about it further.
Thank you, Darlene. We're going to take a break, and we're going to chat with Elizabeth on the other side of the break related to a Social Security disability claim. Stick around. You can call us still at 803-442-4551. You're watching News 12 Law Call. Six 722-3500 and online for lots of information, VicHawkLaw.com. Well, we want to get right back to the telephones. We have a few callers waiting, including Elizabeth from Augusta. Hello, Elizabeth.
My question is kind of simple. Once a person qualifies for Social Security, for 3 years prior to that, I had a supplement disability insurance through my husband's employer.
Okay.
I was under the impression, we've been paying it for 15 years, and I was under the impression that he had the disability insurance, and so did I. They always covered my tests whenever I went into the hospital or anything else. Once my doctor announced that I was disabled, they did not cover that part. I was informed that only my husband was covered because he was employed with the company.
Okay.
So is there anything that I can do about that, or is that standard practice?
I'm not sure on doing disability on that. Bill, do you know what she should do there?
Well, are you saying that the supplemental insurance is no longer covering you?
No, well, you know, if I go into the hospital now, they will take care of that. But as far as being qualified for the disability part of it, they say I don't qualify.
Is it because they didn't find you to be disabled, or
No, I have been declared disabled.
Okay.
Well, you've been declared disabled by the Social Security Administration? Are you receiving Social Security disability in addition to this supplemental insurance?
I'm receiving the Social Security, but not just. Yeah, but prior to the 3 years, it took 3 years to get the claim taken care of, and they never did anything with it. They told me from day one that I wasn't covered.
Okay, but you're getting Social Security disability now.
Right.
Okay, and you are also getting the supplemental insurance from your husband's employer, but they're only paying the medical. They're not picking you up for any additional disability payments.
Right.
Well, they may be setting that off against your Social Security disability.
Okay.
I mean, and usually I don't do any Social Security work, so I'm going to qualify this response by telling you that you might want to consult with a Social Security disability expert. I think, Reed, you've had some on the show, I think.
Yeah, we've had a few.
But it's my understanding from what limited knowledge I have in general, and in particular to Social Security, once you get disability, once you're approved for disability, and I know it takes about 2 years to get it, which is why I don't do it, but any other income that you might get from anywhere, is my understanding Social Security will set that off. In other words, they'll limit it. So it could be that the supplemental insurance company already knows that, and so it's half a dozen of one, 6 of the other. So
Maybe almost considered double dipping
Yeah.
in a way.
They're going to get it
financially.
back.
Yeah.
So that may be what's happening, but it might be best for you to take your policy into one of the Social Security lawyers we have and consult with
I'd
them.
at least get that checked out. You know.
Sure.
Yeah, and what I was going to say before also is that, a lot of times you can call a lawyer. There's usually no consultation fee, at least on the phone. And so some of these people who've been calling, I would encourage you to call around till you can get a lawyer in the office, maybe talk to them for a few minutes, and that
Sure.
might answer your question.
Well, before we scoot, we want to hear from Chris from North Augusta. Chris, we understand you're a former insurance adjuster?
Yes, I am.
Oh, well, share some comments of what you think about your former industry.
You know, there's a story to both sides, certainly.
Sure.
In any case, no doubt about it. I was an insurance adjuster for a little over 10 years, and my dad was one for over 50 years, and so he saw it all, everything. But I guess the point I'm trying to convey is that, you know, if for the most part, 99% of the cases that I dealt with, or the claims that I handled, people are honest, and I just a little advice to somebody that ends up in the situation that you guys are discussing. If you just be honest, everything is going to work out just fine. But I can understand the paranoia, so to speak, or the nervousness of dealing with the insurance company, quote unquote.
Well, I've had some clients that were completely honest, and they just had a tough road to hoe, and we've had to help them out. And I think that Bill could kind of jump in on that as well. You know, honesty can take you so far, and sometimes that claim is still not there, and you're going to need some help to get through that. You know, I don't think it's. I mean, your job as an insurance adjuster and your number one job is to limit the claim. That's the facts. So I mean, even if you tell the truth, you're still trying to limit that claim, and you know, sometimes people need some help on it.
Well, you know, it's like you said, it's both sides, and a lot of times insurance adjusters do the right thing too. Nobody's saying they're not, but you know, it's been said before that 10% of insurance companies' employees sell the insurance, the other 90% try to keep you from getting the money.
That's true. Well, gentlemen, thanks so much. A lively topic on insurance companies and fighting the insurance companies. If we didn't get to your calls, Bill or Reed will give you a call back. So please stick around, stay tuned for that. And next week we'll talk about divorce, child custody, love and the law. Have a wonderful work week ahead. Good night.
Good night.